along with, and I guess that's what crime fiction is. We're telling dark stories in an entertaining fashion. So I think crime fiction works perfectly. And I love the fact that I get the same sort of stick about loving country music that Thorne does. It's a very easy thing to take the mickey out of somebody about, because a lot of people think country music is just songs about, drinking and dead dogs. And to be fair, some of it is. I've always loved it.
Going back to what you were saying before about a vision of your character, I know a lot of people don't read the Jack Reacher series because a certain actor was cast in the role. He is nothing like the book describes Jack Reacher.
Who could you be talking about?
Yeah.
Of course he isn't. But you know what? I don't think it matters. I mean, I remember there was a book which you may have covered on your podcast, a wonderful book called Books to Die For, which is edited by John Connolly and Declan Burke, I think. A whole bunch of mystery writers from all around the world had to pick a mystery novel to talk about. So it became kind of a collection of recommended mystery novels by mystery writers. And there was a huge signing at a BoucherCon a few years back. There were about 30 of us, and people were going around the room, and it was alphabetical, and I was sitting next to Lee. And this was just before the first Reacher movie came out. And again, people were screaming in Lee's face, going, how could you? And Lee was just going, look, just wait till you see the movie. It doesn't change the books. You don't read a Jack Reacher book and see Tom Cruise. I mean, of course it's ridiculous. Jack Reacher could put Tom Cruise in his top pocket, but it doesn't matter. The book is still the book, And if it wasn't for Tom Cruise, those movies wouldn't have been made. It's very simple.
That's true.
Mark, it's been really great listening to you talk all about Tom. Can you tell us what you have in the hopper? What's going on with you now? Do you have any gigs going on for your band with Val?
Well, no, that's been the worst thing about lockdown for me personally. I mean, I'm a big show off, so I love doing events and going to book festivals. And so this book has just come out and I haven't been able to go out with it, around the country and to other countries and to support it by doing book events. The worst thing is that, this band you talk about, the Fun-Loving Crime Writers, which is a bunch of crime writers, myself, Chris Brookmeyer, Val McDermid, Luca Veste, Stuart Neville, Doug Johnston. We had a bunch of really great shows lined up for the spring. And of course, they all had to be cancelled because of the pandemic. But we will be back playing as soon as we possibly can because we love it. I mean, we love it. Writing, of course, is a solitary business. So when the six of us can get together and do some shows and hang out and have fun, it's great. It started as just a bit of fun. The six of us playing. And then last summer we played Glastonbury. We played the biggest music festival in the world. And it was just proper sort of bucket list time. So yeah, we're going to keep doing that as long as people will book us.
So have you ever played in the United States?
Oddly, we started in the United States. We started at a BoucherCon in New Orleans a few years ago. On the last night, the House of Blues, there was a kind of music evening. Myself and two of the guys I mentioned, Stuart Neville and Doug Johnson, just shambled fairly drunkenly onto the stage and busked our way through 3 songs. Somebody filmed it, ended up on YouTube, and then the Edinburgh Book Festival said, right, I'm booking you to do an hour and a half. We went, well, we only know 3 songs, and there's only 3 of us. We put the rest of the band together, and we rehearsed, and there you go. Rest is history. We're playing big shows. The World Mystery Convention is back in New Orleans next year. So it's certainly something we're talking about, the possibility of going back there to play at the House of Blues next year. But yeah, that would be very exciting. We just do cover versions. We do songs about murder. That's what we do. Of which there are many.
Yeah, especially in the country music realm.
Oh, gosh, yeah. We only do 1 Johnny Cash and 1 Hank Williams number because you can only do 1 by any one artist. That's one of our rules. Otherwise, the whole set could be country. I think the rest of the band wouldn't be too happy about that.
Well, I was able to listen to one of the songs you had on your website, and I was quite impressed. Your guys very talented.
What was that? What song was that?
Oh, gosh, I can't recall what it was.
Was it us doing Watching the Detectives by Elvis Costello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, that was obviously one of the first songs we learned to play. Yeah.
Well, what about book-wise? What do you got working on in that realm?
The next book is about done, and it's a standalone. I can't really say too much about it. It's not a Thorne novel, although he is in it. In fact, in all the standalones I've done, he makes little cameo appearances, often unnamed, but anybody who's read the books will recognize him and will know it's him. So he does make a brief appearance in this next book. It's first person. It's all first person, which is the first time I've done that, which will be out this time next year.
Very good.
I wrote it pretty much entirely through the lockdown, which may or may not be a good thing. It may prove to be a bad thing, but I wrote it very quickly. It's the fastest I've ever written a book. So we shall see. Ask me again in a year.
I wonder if we'll have just a flood of books coming out in a year because we're all locked down.
Or books that feature a lockdown and pandemic as backdrop.
Once a year, there's a thing called Super Thursday, like from a book publishing point of view. But this year, it's going to be absolutely crazy. I think something like 800 hardbacks are being published on the same day.
We got a lot of reading to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plenty of reading.
Mark, can you give our listeners your website so that they can find you in your book?
Sure. You can check me out at www.markbillingham.com. And I'm on Twitter at Mark Billingham. Come say hello. Say hello. Shout at me. Ask me stupid questions. Anything you want.
You mean more stupid questions?
No, these have been fantastic questions. Even if you got my name wrong just a couple of times.
Every time.
Okay, every time.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show. It has been an absolute pleasure. And you have 3 new fans, definitely.
Oh, God bless you. And thank you so much for having me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
As we have said many times on this podcast, we are trying to find the next greatest mystery author. So we can recommend the not so household name authors. Mark Billingham is probably better well known in the UK because, of course, his Tom Thorne series and one of his standalones have been adapted for television over there. But in America, we're not so well known with Mark or his series character, Tom Thorne. And I am so glad that we found him.
I haven't had a chance to read it. I look forward to going back and starting at the beginning and reading to catch up.
And he definitely has enough to keep us busy. There's quite a few books
20
in this.
books in the series. We'll be reading for a while.
Going back to the beginning, this is actually a prequel, Crybaby, to the Tom Thorne series. It goes back in time to before the first Tom Thorne book came out, which is interesting. So that kind of appeals to my sense of OCD because now I did start from the beginning with Tom Thorne.
True beginning.
Right. I feel like I have a good foundation to know where Tom is coming from. Mark was able to give a good foundation for the rest of the characters, like Phil Hendricks, which is a great character. And it whet my appetite to find out more about all of these people and what did happen to them. And I can easily go back now and read 17 more books to find out what happened with Tom and Phil and the rest of the group.
What was the crime in the book?
There was 2 mothers. They kind of had a play date with their 2 sons. They're both 7 years old, and they're in a playground. Both of the boys take off into a small woods that apparently is adjacent to the playground. One of the mothers goes off to the ladies' room while the other mother is, sitting on a park bench, and she can kind of see the kids running in the woods. The mother in the ladies' room comes back. Only one child comes back out of the woods.
Ooh.
And it's not her child.
Oh, boy.
So the whole story is about looking for this missing child. It really is a journey. Tom Thorne has, as I'm sure in real life, there are threads that go off in the wrong direction, and you've got the media involved because that story is blown all over the airwaves or newspapers. One of these threads especially is taken as truth and unintended consequences occur. It's a very suspenseful novel. I have to say, I did not see the ending coming.
Oh, you've definitely
Now I
intrigued
gotta
me
go.
now.
Yep. I got to read this one.
Well, we hope you take the time to check out Mark Billingham's books, as we will be doing so also.
Definitely. This is one we highly recommend, and we wish Mark all the best.
And I also want to see if I can check out the TV series. I'd like to do that as well.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun. I guess we could probably get that. Does anybody have BritBox? It's probably
Yes,
there.
I do.
And now, new and noteworthy. First up is Murder in the Bayou Boneyard by Ellen Byron. It's number 6 in the Cajun Country Mystery series. It came out September 8th by Crooked Lane Books. Maggie Crozat has the Halloween heebie-jeebies in USA Today and Agatha Award-winning author. Ellen Byron's howlingly funny 6th Cajun Country Mystery.
My new and noteworthy book is Slaughter in the Sapperton Tunnel which is book 18 in the Inspector Robert Colbeck series by Edward Marston. It is available in the U.S. on Kindle on September 17th. The publisher is Allison and Busby. A goods train speeds through the Sapperton Tunnel, but disaster strikes before it can reach the other side as it collides with an unusual blockage on the tracks. 7 sheep penned in place.
My new and noteworthy book this week is Taken Too Soon by Edith Maxwell. It is number 6 in her Quaker Midwife Mystery Series. It came out September 8th. It is put out by Beyond the Page. Quaker midwife Rose Carroll must turn her investigative skills on her own family when a young woman's murder stuns a New England community. Trivia. Last week's question was, who wrote her mystery series as an insurance investigator report? A. Patricia Cornwell, B. Ruth Rendell, C. Janet Ivanovich, or D. Sue Grafton? The answer is D. Sue Grafton. She was an insurance investigator in her A to Z Kinsey Milhone mystery series. This week's question is, which mystery author had the pleasure and privilege of cooking dinner for Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Was it A. Ellen Byron, B. Donna Andrews, C. Leslie Karst, or D. Lauren Ellicott? Good luck.
Our newsletter just came out, and I hope the ones who have subscribed are enjoying it. So if you have not subscribed, you might want to get on that, and you can do that by going to our website, which is www.darkstormybc.com.
Don't forget to look at our Patreon. We have lots of nice incentives for people to patronize us, and we appreciate each and every patron.
And we're working on some extra content for our patrons.
So that brings us to the end of another episode. We hope you enjoyed Lori R. King. Hope you'll join us next week. And remember,
Life would be boring without a little mystery.
bye.